welcome Bri Kiger from the Carroll Tigers. Senior, just actually committed to Central College. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got done lifting weights and going for a walk.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, beautiful day. We've had some really nice weather lately. Um, I want to get started first with the commitment to Central, how you made that decision and how it's been a process. We talked earlier, so it's been kind of a process for you. Go ahead and start with the beginning.
Okay, so it kind of started in spring of last year after I placed eighth at the state tournament, and then because my coach he was already in contact with one of my teammates, so then it kind of just expanded onto me. And then in the fall, I started to get recruited by the coach at Wartburg as well because I have connections through club wrestling to him. And I went to both schools, both amazing campuses. I would love to wrestle at both. But at the end of the day, I chose Central because I went on my like official visit when I went there, and I got to just meet the team, and I got to meet the coach, and I got to meet like other people at the school. I got to meet like students and teachers, and it felt right to be there. And I really loved the environment that the team brought.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit earlier about Jamie. He's just been a great coach. And what do you want to do at when you're at Central as far as education?
As far as education, I'm planning to look into like sociology 'cause eventually I want to do some social work. So, and sociology is actually what Jaime went to school to do. So,
Yeah, and so through his story of he didn't have the greatest he didn't we won't really go too deep in that, but he didn't have the greatest uh, I don't want to say life because he's doing great, but maybe had a little bit of a struggle when he was younger and then through college, and Central really helped him out, and you got to meet the teacher that actually helped him out. How did that go? How was that meeting?
that actually was really well. I got to sit in on the full class and like see how he teaches. And it was just like it felt like a normal class, but you could just tell there was something else there that made it just a little more different, a little more special. You could really tell that he cared. And then when I got to talk to Jaime afterwards, and he was like, "This is the guy that really flipped my life around," I was like, "That's what it is." You can just tell that between the passion of all the teachers there, there's something there that can just get you to want to learn.
And the girls team growing, definitely growing down at Central. Uh, did you get a do practice or just sit in and watch practice or just meet the girls?
I just got to meet the girls. We sat and we had lunch, and I got to watch them lift weights as well. But Jaime's actually he's coming up to Carroll and he's doing a clinic for us. So
Oh, very nice. That's great. You'll have to let me know when. We'll make sure everybody knows.
it's
Um,
April 25th.
April 25th. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. All right. So senior year, and actually the last 2 years, you've kind of been plagued with injuries. How's that been mentally, and how have you been able to come through some of that?
That's a big one because wrestling, I didn't it was something that I didn't really think I would care about until I did it, and I kept working hard at it. And it really stunk because like my junior and senior year were the 2 years that I really showed so much growth, and I really wanted to prove myself. And I mean, I love to see success of everyone else, and I got to see success of my teammates, which I think is a lot of what helped me mentally, is that I could see success from others, so I knew it was still in me to prove that I had success left. But it was a lot of recovery because I was doing PT in the middle of the season, my senior year. So it was really hard to get through that. But I just kept thinking, this is my goal. I got to reach it. I mean, I didn't reach my goal, but I still got to place at state, and not everyone gets to do that. So
Oh, yeah. It has gotten so difficult even just to be one of the 16 in your weight class, right? I
yeah.
mean, it is so much tougher. And then to have, you know, you didn't get a lot of matches this year. You told me even less last year. I think I
Mhm.
counted 27 matches this year. But then to able to get through that tournament and still place one more up the rung. That's pretty awesome. To you got seventh, one up from last year. So improvement, very cool. The Carroll team also made some big strides this year in numbers. And what was it like to have, as a senior, have a little bit bigger team?
It was awesome. I mean, I was a captain and I had to sit out, but it was so cool because a lot of our team was like younger and I kind of noticed just a shift in attitude towards the sport. They just you could tell they had a lot more enjoyment of it and they were really working hard at practices. And it was a bigger team, so it was like the whole room just had that feeling of we want to keep working hard. And it made everything more fun. And then we'd go to meets and you'd have that same energy. I think that's a big part of why we had so much success with our team this year.
Yeah. Can you think of maybe a moment or a tournament or a meet that maybe you guys all came together and it was like, and we really are a family.
I hate to say it, but the regional tournament, that was the first time the whole season that we had everyone down to weight and everyone was all wrestling. That was the only time this year that that has happened. And I mean, we won it. I never thought we would have done that. We won our region, and it was just a really cool moment to get to see our team just connect. And it was like, and it wasn't our final days for, there was four of us that qualified. So we were all excited about that. And then just the whole team coming together, just being so excited that we've worked hard all season. And the one moment that all of us were actually together for it, we had so much success.
Yeah, that's crazy because yeah, you're right. You probably wouldn't have expected to win because that was a tough region. You had, Spencer's always a dominant team. Sioux City North kind of came out of nowhere this year to me, and then we always have our few that we usually compete well, but man, that's a tough group. And then to come out of that region and first is really 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 good. How would you describe the culture within your room? You've kind of said a few things, but what's some of the things that's special about the team and the room?
I think this year the biggest thing is the energy and the attitude. We have made some changes to like how we practice, which I think is a big part of it. Is we've had shorter practices, but it makes it so that everyone like works hard all of practice, not just works hard for some of it and then kind of gives up halfway through.
Hmm.
But just the energy in the room, everyone's excited to be there and excited to wrestle. And even though the practice may not be the best practice or like a practice you want to be at, there wasn't a lot of complaining this year. And we just really felt like a big family, which I think made it so much more fun.
Oh, for sure. Let's go back. I don't even know how many years. How long have you been wrestling?
I didn't start until it was sanctioned. So I started wrestling my freshman year.
So you've only wrestled 4 years. Did you qualify either of those first 2 years?
I did qualify my freshman year. It was kind of by mistake because I got fifth, and then one of the girls at my region dropped out. So
Okay. Oh, well,
I got to take the spot.
that's okay. You still end up, so you're three-time qualifier, two-time place winner, only wrestled 4 years. That's
Yeah.
really amazing. So the ceiling for you is super high. Why did you decide to go out for wrestling when you did?
Well, I'd really wanted to do it like in junior high, especially, but I was really scared to go up against the boys. And like wrestling is a big thing in my family. Like I have a cousin, he's wrestling at Cornell College right now. And like my uncle and my dad and my grandpa, they all wrestled in college and like all throughout high school. So wrestling was kind of a big part of my life, and I just didn't feel like I had a way to show it. And then my freshman year, they're like, boom, it's sanctioned. You don't have to wrestle the guys anymore. It can just be girls. And I was like, I might as well go try it. And then after I went to state, I realized I kind of like this sport and I want to keep working hard at it.
You might have just answered my next question, but maybe not. So you're on the mat, you're giving it a try, your freshman year. When did it become something that you're just giving a try to something, man, I do love this. This is the sport I love.
I think it was probably about January of my freshman year that I really started. That's when I saw like a little bit of growth. That's when I actually started to win matches and not just win because the other girl also didn't know what she was doing. It was because I started to know what I was doing. And then at the regional tournament, I got fifth. I know, and somehow with like the incident that happened, I was able to get to go to state. And I think just seeing it just made me realize I want to come back and I want to place. Like I want this. And it just I think seeing all that was like I can do so much more than what I'm at right now. So it just made me want to work harder.
Yeah, that's the Iowa Girls State Tournament. I'm gonna say it has to be one of the top two or three tournaments in the country. as far as for it. It's most of them are not all girls, so it's a unique event. It's just it's done well, it's done right. What's something special about that tournament that it's just not just the wrestling part, but just what's special about the tournament?
I think a big part of it is just like when you walk in and you see the crowd is just so much bigger than what you expect. And also it's at Iowa, like in Coralville. I don't know if they're going to keep it there, but I think at least for now, like the first few years of going there, it's kind of just looking around and thinking look at how many amazing like college athletes have played here. This is like where some of the best playing happens of like multiple different sports, not just wrestling,
Yeah.
and you think to yourself, I get to be a part of that.
Yeah. To me, that back room where everybody gets to be
Yeah.
together, I really love that. That's like that's important to me because I get to catch up with coaches and athletes that I know. So one of the cool things. But yeah, that tournament is such a special thing. I've talked to some
Mhm.
people from other states that when it's wrapped up with the boys tournament or they're kind of stuck in a corner, at least in Iowa, we know that those you guys are up front, forward, it's your tournament. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a special event. Um, when we talk about those injuries and the mindset that goes into wrestling, what kept you going through your junior and senior year with, you sat out most of this half of this year at least, right? I
Yeah.
mean, what kept you going and how did you do that?
I think a lot of it was just my expectations of myself. I mean, I didn't meet my goal, but I still made it, like I placed somehow. And I think the big part was I really wanted to get bigger than what I did last year. And so just having that mindset of I'm going to keep moving forward and I need to get to this was really what kept pushing me. And I was like, it sucked. Like going through PT, it was awful. Well, it wasn't awful. I really liked the physical therapist, but like the process of
But
just
PT in
sitting and
general.
watching. Yes,
Yeah.
but just the process of sitting and watching and feeling like, what if I can't go back? That's always the biggest thing. But you can't let the doubt creep into your mind. You have to just keep pushing. You have to see like the biggest thing for me was seeing my goals and trying to reach them.
Yeah. So one of the hardest things that can happen, that first loss at the state wrestling tournament, when you now have to shift your goals.
Yeah.
Super tough loss, right? How did you put yourself together after that loss to be able to go back out and get to the podium?
I actually, so this actually takes me back to earlier this year. I had a loss earlier this year that really like it was at the Waukee Northwest tournament. It really threw a curveball at me because I was really excited to wrestle there, even though I had like a stomach bug and stuff, but I was really excited to wrestle there. And then I didn't win a match and it just like ruined my whole mindset. And after that, I just like I basically gave up at that tournament afterwards. And I think going through that experience made me realize I can't keep doing that. That's not fair to anyone, and that's not how you should wrestle. And so that moment prepared me for the state tournament. So once I got there, and I was actually at the state tournament, I remembered that moment and I was like, I can't be like this. I need to get to my goal. And so I just really focused on that.
I like that. That's a great answer. That's using something that you grew and everything. Um, in your recruiting process, going back to talking to Jamie and stuff, um, those losses, some college coaches have told me they actually look for that person that loses and battles back to find that. Did he ever mention anything like that to you? That those are things that he looks at, or did you realize that that's one of the hardest things to do? To lose your ultimate goal, but then to refocus. Did you guys talk about that at all?
I don't remember. We've had a lot of conversations like because it's been like a whole almost a whole year of just like talking back and forth and trying to
Yeah.
just focus on stuff. But I think the big thing was like also that he really talked about was like what aspect of wrestling. Because if you don't enjoy the sport, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah, very much true. Very true. No, yeah, and I wanted you to know that for sure that every coach I talk to, they do look for those people that are able to lose that dream is kind of like gone, but can we come back and get that next one? Because that's what's really going to truly help you out later on, right?
Yeah.
Um, So just getting to know you better as a person. We've had a couple conversations this year, but it's been wrestling centered and
Yeah.
stuff. But um, what's something that you do that maybe no one would ever guess? A hobby or something that you like to do outside of wrestling.
I don't know. Most of my stuff is all based around wrestling. Like I love lifting. Like I love exercise in general and like swimming and lifting, and like just going for walks. Um, I'd say something that most people wouldn't expect is my favorite thing to do is I don't know if people have seen them. They're called like diamond dot puzzles. And they're just like these colors with a ton of circles. And then you get like these little dot tools and then you just put them on the circle. I think that's very fun for some reason.
There you go. Did you draw the picture behind you or paint the picture behind you?
No, my mom actually made that
Your
like
mom
a
did. Okay.
really, really long time ago.
Really? Okay. I'll have to look those diamond dot puzzles up and see what that is. That's kind of, I mean, that's something different, kind of, but does it relax you? Is it something
Yeah,
kind of just to chill?
yeah. Just
Uh,
a good way to relax.
So kind of on the same thing. If there was no wrestling, does not exist any longer. What do you think you'd put your energy into?
Um, Probably cheer and dance. That's what I used to do. I quit dance after my sophomore year because I really wanted to focus on wrestling. But I still did like football cheer, which was a huge like I love the team and I just love having all that energy. So cheer was always really fun, and so was dance and show choir, which is singing and dancing. So
Yeah.
probably something along those lines.
So with cheerleading, did you ever do like stunt type cheer?
Yes. Yeah. We actually
Are
went
you
to state contest my junior year with a stunt routine, which was really fun.
are you a flyer type person? Are you
Well, it kind of switches. So my freshman year, when I was like really tiny, when I weighed like 110 or 115 naturally, um, I was a flyer, and I was also like one of the smallest people on the team, so I was easily the flyer. And then like after that freshman year, I really tried to grow in like muscle and strength, and I did a ton of lifting, and I got quite a bit bigger. So they kind of switched me around. So I did a mix of things. So I did fly, but I also did like all the different basing as well.
yeah, you made it all the way up to 120 pounds this year, so so you're huge.
Well, a little bit more than that by now, but
Yeah. What weight are you thinking about wrestling in college? Have you thought
well,
about that?
I have. I'm not for sure. I know Jaime wants me up at like 131, which is
Hmm.
what I like naturally weigh right now. But I was also thinking 24 because once I start doing like a lot of like mix of exercises, it just kind of falls off.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking either 124 or 131.
very good. Um, you've taken at least in our conversations, you've had a couple drinks out of this huge water bottle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're down for staying hydrated, right? That's something
Yes.
that's super important. What are some of the things that you're eating maybe after weigh-ins, when you maybe had to lose a little bit of weight?
My favorite thing is always the Built Puff bars. Those things are really good. Those are like my go-to snacks as well. But I also like to eat Sunbelt Bakery, the fudge dipped granola bars, and then I'll have a fruit leather on top of it, or I'll eat it with a banana. I always have a banana though.
Bananas are your thing, huh? And I
Yes.
do like those granola bars are some of my favorite because they're not like
Mhm.
they don't taste like paper or cardboard.
Yeah.
I like them too. Uh, During the season, you have to lose a little bit of weight. Not, yeah, I mean, not overly crazy amounts because
Yeah.
we don't do that, but you still have to give up some stuff. What is that one guilty pleasure food that you absolutely love?
I have to think about that. Any, okay, probably pancakes. That was
Really?
like my food right after, yeah, right after well, like a big breakfast buffet. Like
Okay.
right after wrestling season was over, we went to Perkins and I think it was like three pancakes, sausage, hash brown, bacon, eggs, toast. I had like everything you could get there,
All right.
and a hot chocolate.
Wow. All right. So what kind of pancakes? Are you a plain pancake eater? Do you got to put some fruit with the pancakes, chocolate chips? What kind of pancakes are we
Any any
any?
pancakes. I really like plain pancakes or chocolate chip pancakes. Strawberry and whipped cream pancakes are also very good. As long as they have butter and syrup, I'm okay.
All right. So you have to have the syrup. I'm kind of it's really weird. I'm kind of a butter pancake guy, and that's weird. I don't do syrup actually even that much. I'm trying to think. I have had one other person from Carroll on here. So if I'm down in Carroll and we're gonna go out to eat, where are you going? What place are we going?
We're going to Hunan's.
Going to Hunan's. All right, what are you having?
Yep. What am I having there? Fried rice. It's a Chinese restaurant, so I'm having
Yep,
fried rice. They have like these marinated beef sticks, which I love. And I'm gonna have some egg rolls and probably some crab rangoon.
very good. Yeah, I haven't been to Hunan's for a while. I kind of forgot it was there to tell you the truth. They're one of the few Chinese restaurants that I go to that did not have a buffet. You
Well,
know,
they do now. It's
they
only in the
do
morning.
now. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it's in like you have to go around noon.
Gotcha. But yeah, I
Yeah.
always thought that was neat that I mean, it was a place you actually had to order off the menu, which it's awesome. It's a great place to eat.
Mhm.
Really good place to eat. So if you could go anywhere in the world for vacation, where is your bucket list vacation?
I don't know. I know you asked me this earlier, but I really liked I really like just traveling all over the place. My favorite thing earlier this year, or not this year, it was a few years ago that I did with my family, is we did like a road trip all across parts of the US and we went out to like Colorado and we got to see Yellowstone. I'd go back to Yellowstone. I know it's not super duper far, but I'd go back. It was really pretty.
So you're kind of a mountainy, hikey kind of person. I,
Kind of. I like to look at it. I don't like to experience it because I have asthma, so it's kind of hard to
oh,
breathe.
gotcha. I found through this, there's about two different types of people. It's either that mountain scenery kind of person or beach people, you know.
I like the beach as well. I would pick that, but I'm already going there. So
Gotcha. All right. So, told you the hardest question I'm going to ask you all day today, and we need to come up with some type of tagline for your video, for your interview. What's something that you think maybe defines your wrestling career or maybe this year? Anything you can think of off the top of your head?
don't let doubt stop you from reaching your goals.
Let me write because I like that.
That's like the big thing that I realized I said a lot. So
That's perfect. I like it. I like it. Very good. Awesome. That was easy. That was too easy. Man. So when you get old, you're old and gray, you're on the front porch, you're yelling at kids to get off your lawn, just about ready to go to the nursing home. What are you going to think about wrestling? What are you going to remember about wrestling?
I'm gonna remember just the feeling, like the jitters of getting ready to be on the mat, and then actually maybe not remember the matches themselves, even though I've had some really weird matches. Um, I think I'll really remember the team that I had behind it and just the feelings that it brought out of anxiety and joy, like just ready to go and just the power I felt afterwards. I always felt so strong after I wrestled, even if I lost.
That's great. That's an awesome answer. I really like that. So if I asked you for those one or two things, what wrestling has really taught you going forward, what are those things?
I think it's really taught me to not doubt myself as much. Because I feel like I have a lot of self-doubt in all my work. I mean, I don't really talk about school a lot, but like I'm pretty good with school, but I always have doubt behind all my assignments and I always have doubt before I step on the mat. But and like maybe it's just like the general anxiety, but I always feel really strong after like coming off of the mat. Just that feeling of I did this. Even if you didn't win the match, and if it was a tough match, just leaving my heart out there and wrestling through as much as I could and not giving up.
Do you think that feeling's what gives you confidence in not just wrestling, but just every day?
I think so. I think just that feeling of I know I'm going to keep pushing through even if it's hard.
You know you can do tough things and you did it. I
Yeah.
really like that too. That's really cool. I like that. Um, the term, the not the organization, just saying wrestle like a girl. What do you think it means to wrestle like a girl?
To wrestle like a girl. Oh, I knew you were going to ask this. Okay. So I couldn't really think of anything other than the hardship that it's taken to get to this. As I said, I was too scared to even start wrestling until it was specific towards girls. And I think a big thing about wrestling like a girl is like the pride you have behind it. Um, I don't know how else to explain it, but like when wrestling first started Greco-Roman times, women weren't even allowed to watch it, and now women are fully participating in the sport by themselves. And I think it's just you should carry it with pride.
I like that. That's very good. And you guys should be very proud that you helped save the sport of wrestling also. And,
Yeah.
it was on the chopping blocks because they didn't have women's wrestling in the Olympics, and you guys are the reason. You young women who are doing this are the reason that the sport is still around. Otherwise, if it gets taken out of the Olympics, then colleges have no reason to have Olympic sports. And if it's not in the
Mhm.
colleges, there's no reason for high schools and youth to have Olympic sports, right? So it's really awesome that the women's wrestling has saved the sport of wrestling. So you should be proud of that also. You didn't start super early, but I'm sure, I'm sure you help out with Carroll Cardinals, you help out with all kinds of things here and there. The younger girls, what advice would you have for someone that maybe is a little bit scared to go out for wrestling or, on the fence?
Just do it. That's it. Just eh, try it. You'll learn even if you decide you hate it, you'll learn something about yourself through the sport, and you'll grow in a
Very,
way that you never expected.
very good. Um, I've gotten through my entire thing. I'm going to tell you before I give you a chance for final thoughts. Uh, it's amazing how many young women in this area that I've probably been at meets with. I didn't get an opportunity to talk with very much, but it was really nice to get to meet you this year and talk with you a few different times. And I've enjoyed our conversation. Good luck at Central. I hope you stay in touch, and I wouldn't mind maybe catching up after a little while of being at Central and seeing how the college world goes for you and everything. So I just want to let you know it was fun to get to know you, and I think you did an awesome job this year. I know maybe like you said you didn't quite hit your goal, but you did a great job. So proud of you. But
Thank you so
now,
much.
yeah, now you got some final thoughts, something profound on this Sunday afternoon that's gonna change somebody's life. What do you got to tell us? I'm kidding. You don't have to change somebody's life. But what are your final thoughts?
On like today or just in general?
Just in general, anything you want to give to everybody.
My final thoughts. It's kind of empty up there right now, but just I've really enjoyed getting to see the growth. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind coaching in the future just because I loved seeing like I love having my own personal growth and getting to like reach limits that I never thought were possible. But I also love getting to see that for other people and just getting to see the growth in my teammates. So um everyone
Well,
should grow. I don't know.
there you go. No, I like it. Well, thank you very, very much for coming on and doing this. Again, I look forward to watching your career in the future, and we definitely will stay in touch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thank you
go
so
ahead.
much.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit the stop record button. Hold on for
I'm gonna
just a
drink
moment.
some water.
All right.